So today we want to continue from where we left off yesterday, bercakap pasal equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, so yesterday we learned that when two lines are parallel, okay, they are same gradient. Okay, the most important thing is when we see the words parallel. Okay, if you have your module, you please turn to this. So the gradient is the same. But if there are two lines that are perpendicular, okay, if there are two lines that are perpendicular, okay, we know that the two gradients when they have a certain relationship where the first gradient equals to -1 over the second gradient. Okay, so and perpendicular lines got many types of words okay, they form 90 degrees. Okay, they are bisectors. Okay, perpendicular bisectors. Okay, we will see all this in a little while. So sometimes the word perpendicular may not appear in the question. Okay, but we have to look for all the keywords that help us to know what is whether the two lines are perpendicular or parallel. Okay, now this next part is we want to find the equation of a straight line. Okay, so equation of the straight line generally is written in y equals to mx plus c. So we want to find, after given the information, we want to find the equation of that straight line, which is either parallel or perpendicular to another line. Okay, so in order for us to do that, okay, copy this down, everybody. I want you to use this one, y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. Okay, we use this formula, okay, to help us to find the equation of the straight line. Okay, and so because of that, you always need two information. Number one, what is the gradient? Okay, number two, what is a point? I need to have a coordinates of one point that is on that line. Okay, let me demonstrate now. Okay, question number 51. So find the equation of the line that passing through the point of -4 and 8. So this one is the second one. How do I know? Because it says passing through the point, this one. So that's the point that we are going to use. Okay, and then it says it is parallel to the line. Okay, parallel to the line which joins this one. Okay, what does parallel mean? Parallel means same gradient. Okay, same gradient. So can I use these two coordinates to find the gradient? Can. Okay, we use m equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, can you calculate the gradient now for me, please? These 2 points are 3, 5, and 4, -1. Calculate the gradient for me and give me your answer in the chat, please. Okay, -6. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, -6. So now we have the gradient, which is parallel. Parallel means the same gradient. No need to extra calculation. Okay, so we have the gradient and we have the point. So we can put it inside our, this formula over here. Okay, so y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. So we use this gradient to put in here. Okay, so -6. Okay, so y minus, okay, how do I put in the y1 and x1? I use the point that says passing through the point. So we always go with that point. So the y is 8 and the x is -4. Okay, so y minus 8 equals to -6, x minus -4. Okay, so which means that, ladies and gentlemen, this y and this x, we don't substitute anything. Okay, because we want the answer to be y equals to mx plus c. So must have a y and an x over there. Okay, so let's simplify this. So y minus 8 equals to this one multiply inside -6x, this one multiply inside -24. Okay, If you don't know how to do this, this is negative 6 times minus 4. If you want to do that, okay, you will get negative 24. Okay. Then remember, equation of straight line is always y equals to mx plus c. So this negative 8, we must move across. So y equals to negative 6x minus 24 plus 8. And we will get y equals to negative 6x minus 24 plus 8 will be minus 60. Is it 16? Yeah, it's 16. Okay, and this is our final answer. Okay, so equation of straight line is always y equals to mx plus c. Okay, but how we get the y equals to mx plus c is, number one, we must know what is the gradient. Number two, we must look for a point. We must look for a coordinate that is on that line that we want. And then number three, we substitute it in these three places. Okay, and then we change until you get y equals to mx plus c. Okay, so question number 52 is your first homework for the day. Altogether, 4 questions again, just like yesterday, because these are all short questions. Okay, so if it's short questions, I will give 4. If it's long questions, I may give 2 or 3, depending. But please, everybody, if I give a question, try to finish it on that day itself. Okay, I don't want you to tunda your homework. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, question number 53. So 52 is your homework. Okay, use 51 to help you. It's almost the same, actually. Okay, look at the point. Passes through the point. So very easy. All right, 53. Find the equation of the line that is parallel to x plus 3y equals to 2. Okay, parallel means what? Same gradient. Okay, so if same gradient, let's find the gradient here first. X plus 3y equals to 2. How do I find the gradient? I will have to change it to y equals to mx plus c, kan? So 3y equals to 2 minus x. And so y equals to 2 over 3 minus x over 3, or y equals to 2 over 3 minus 1 over 3x. This is the same thing, guys. Okay, this is the same thing. But now tell me, from this equation, what is my gradient? Okay, it is negative 1 over 3. Okay, so first thing settled, gradient is negative 1 over 3. Okay, now we must find a point. Okay, the second thing I say, we must find a point, right? Okay, let's see, what is it passing through? It's passing through the x-intercept of 这个. Oh, we've seen this one before, right? And x over 4 minus y over 5 equals to 1. This 4 is actually the x-intercept. Right? Because the equation is equals to 1. Okay, so if it is passing through the x-intercept, this x-intercept is our point. Okay, so if the x-intercept is 4, what is my coordinate? Can anybody tell me? What is my coordinate? If the x-intercept is 4, it is 4, 0. Be very careful, Okay, so 4, 0. Now, so we have the gradient, we have the point. Can we form the equation of the straight line? Can. We use y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. Okay, what do we substitute? We only substitute the y1, the m, and the x1. The y and the x don't kacau. Okay, so y minus 0, 0, 0, y minus 0, okay, equals to, what is my m? Negative 1 over 3 x minus 4. And then now we simplify. Y minus 0 is y lah, kan? Don't need to think. Okay, so we multiply this in, we get negative 1 over 3x plus 4 over 3. And this is our equation of the straight line. Okay, so again, find the gradient, find the point, sub. Okay, find the gradient, find the point, sub. That's the only 2 things that you need to think about whenever you do the equation of the straight line. Okay, Let's do number 54. Find the equation of a straight line that is parallel. Once again, is parallel. Okay, bisect the line segment joining. Okay, so this one we need to talk a bit. Now, when we talk about bisect, do you know what is bisect? Bisect means if there is a line, okay, the bisector is the midpoint. Okay, so if you have your module with you, I know that some of you don't have a module, but never mind. If you have your module with you, write down here, bisect means you want to find the midpoint. Okay, very, very important word. Okay, bisect means you want to find the midpoint. So, how do I find the midpoint? Okay, we go back to, sorry, we have to go back to very, very early on in this one. I think we learned this before, right? Okay, midpoint. Wow, so far. Okay, midpoint, this one. Okay, the 2x coordinates plus, and then you divide by 2. And then the 2y coordinates plus, and then you divide by 2. Okay, so that's the midpoint. Okay, going back. I wish there's a page finder. Am I here? Oh, no, no, no. Oh, okay, I'm here. Okay, so let's talk about the gradient first. Because we want to always talk about gradient first. So this is 5x plus 2y equals to 8. Okay, can you change until it becomes like this, y equals to yada yada, and tell me what is the gradient for this equation? What is the gradient? Okay, do it first, please. Do it and then tell me now. Oh, you know what? Let's split this work now. Okay, I want the boys. Boys, I want you to adjust this and tell me what is the gradient. Girls, I want you to tell me what is the midpoint of this one. Okay, so you have 3, 1. 这里 is 3, 1, and then over here is -1, -5. What is the coordinate of the midpoint? Okay, so girls, you do midpoint. Boys, you do the gradient and tell me what is the gradient. Okay, and then type in your answer in the chat. Okay, so the gradient is -5/2. Girls, midpoint, please. Okay, the midpoint is 1 and -2. Okay, how you know it's the midpoint? Because the keyword is bisect. Okay, bisect means you split the line into 2 parts. Okay, the ratio is 1:1. Ouch, that's the midpoint. Okay, so we have our gradient, we have the point. So we just put it in lah. Y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. Okay, why don't you try? Put the put the y1, the x1, and the m inside, and then finally see if you can get this answer. Okay, the answer is already given lah, so I just want you to try it. Okay, try. Yeah, I give you 3 minutes to try. Now, let's go on to perpendicular lines. Okay, now remember, perpendicular is a little bit more work. Okay, we have to remember that if we want to find the new gradient, we have to use m1 equals to -1 m2. So slightly different. Okay, the one where we want to find the gradient is a little bit more work. It's not the same gradient. Okay, let's look at question 55. Diagram shows a straight line PQ with this one. Okay, the point P lies on the x-axis and the point Q lies on the y-axis. Question is, find the equation of a straight line. Okay, find this means we must think about this already. Okay, that is perpendicular to PQ. Okay, and passing through the point Q. Okay, passing through the point Q means number 2 is Gautim already. We already know what is the point we want to use. What is point Q? Can anybody tell me what is point Q and point P? P is what? And Q is what? P is 2 and 0. Okay, so since it say passing through point Q, so we use this one as our point. Okay, so this is 0 and 3. Now the problem is, what is the gradient, right? Okay, first of all, we have to find the gradient of this one first. Can you tell me what is the gradient of this? Yeah, can be negative b over a, or we can use y2 minus y1, right? 3 minus 0 over 0 minus 2. So how much would the answer be? Okay, negative 3 over 2. But the line that we want to count now is perpendicular. So that means it cannot be negative 3 over 2. We have to do one extra step. Okay, the new gradient, okay, m1 is equals to negative 1 over negative 3 over 2. Okay, negative 1 over negative 3 over 2. Now remember how I taught you how to calculate this. You cannot just put in like that one, right? Okay, so it's negative 1 divided by bracket negative 3 over 2. Okay, remember the bracket is very important. Okay, and you will get 2 over 3. Okay, be careful guys about this. Always I remind you. So the gradient is 2 over 3. So you already have this law. Gradient is 2 over 3. Point is 0 and 3. We substitute into y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. And then we shift until we get this answer. Okay? So for situations which involve perpendicular, the other one extra step, it's just one extra step lah, okay, which is you have to use this one lah. But otherwise it's the same. You still have to find the gradient of the original line, okay, of the line that it is perpendicular to. Okay, just that sometimes perpendicular got different kinds of words, as we mentioned yesterday lah. Sometimes you see the word 90 degrees, sometimes you see the word bisector, perpendicular bisector. Okay, all these are all same meaning of the word perpendicular. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Find the equation of the straight line that passes through the point negative 1, 9. Now, passes through liao. So number 2 is settled. Negative 1 and 9. Okay, but it is perpendicular to this line. Okay. Oh my goodness. How come I didn't set this? Oh, okay, fine. Never mind. So this is the same question as number 55. It's perpendicular to this equation. Okay, it is the exact same question, just a different number, and you will get the same thing. Point is given already. Okay, we can find the gradient. Okay, so please answer this on your own lah, because everything is there already. Okay, let's take a look at 57. Now, given the points A, B, and C are like that, find the equation of the straight line that passes through point A. Okay, read this carefully. Passes through point A means the point we already have is 3 and 3. Okay, but is perpendicular to the straight line BC. Oh, it means we have to find the gradient of BC first. Okay, can you use B and use C and find the gradient of BC for me, please? Oh, the gradient is negative 1. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, gradient is negative 1. But now remember, the gradient that we want is not the same as the gradient BC. It is perpendicular to BC. So if it is perpendicular, the gradient that we want is M1 lah, equals to negative 1 over this gradient, negative 1. Okay, which is 1. So easy. Okay, so gradient is 1. The point is 3 and 3. We can substitute. Y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. Okay, so actually the difficult part about this question is how to find the correct gradient. That's the only difficult part. Okay, that's why we need to read the question and we need to understand it. Because when you understand the question and you know what you have to do, actually very easy. The calculation is very easy. Okay, just have to find we just have to know the difference between perpendicular and parallel. Okay, they're two totally different things. Okay, this is your second homework question for the day. Okay, let me guide you through this. The coordinates of point A and B are scan. Point P divides AB internally. 3 to 1. Okay, so let me draw it out. Here is A, here is B, this is 4 and 2, this is -2 and 6. P divides internally so that it is 3 here and 1 here. Okay, this is point P. Question is, find the equation of the straight line which passes through point P. So I need to know what is point P. Okay, now if you take a look at this, this is 3, this is 1. How do I calculate this? This is last week punya lesson. Remember the formula we used last week? The jump here, jump there one? Oh, that's the one. Okay, then you find point P. Then they say perpendicular to straight line AB. That one very easy lah. You find this gradient first, and then you M1 equals to -1 over M2. Okay, so very important point. Okay, what is the gradient? Okay, the gradient is perpendicular, okay, to AB. Okay, so what is it? Okay, I just want to guide you by reminding you about the formula that we learned last week, okay, for this question. Okay, all right, let's take a look at a few more. Okay, now we talk about perpendicular bisector. Okay, now when we talk about perpendicular bisector, number one, what did I say about the word bisector? Bisector means midpoint. And bisector means midpoint. Perpendicular means it is M1 equals to -1 over M2. So now we are combining this. Just now when we saw the bisector word, right? Where is it? Just now when we saw the bisector word, this one. Okay, just now when we saw the bisector word, the gradient is parallel. The gradient is parallel. So we don't need to use M1 equals to yada yada. But in this question now, we're talking about perpendicular bisector. So we still have to find the midpoint, and we have to calculate the new gradient because it's no longer the same. Okay, let's take a look at, let's take a look at question 59. Okay, x over 2 plus y over 6 equals to 1. Cuts the x-axis at P and the y-axis at Q. Okay, let's calculate the gradient of this straight line. How do you calculate the gradient of this? Can lah kan? Okay. Sorry. Fine. I'll do this. Okay. 2, here is 6. This one. Okay, so this is 2 and 0. This is 0 and 6. 2 and 0, 0 and 6. So when you calculate the gradient, you will get -3. This gradient is -3. Okay, but now they say the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the straight line. So whenever you hear the words perpendicular bisector, you need to know, okay, the point I want to find is the midpoint. Okay, can anybody tell me what is the midpoint of this? Okay, the midpoint is 1 and 3. Okay, 0 plus 2 divided by 2, 6 plus 0 divided by 2, 1 and 3. Okay, now, how about the gradient that we want to substitute in? We want perpendicular, right? So if this is -3, what is the gradient that we are supposed to use? M1 equals to -1 M2. Substitute the M2 over here. What is the gradient? Okay, the gradient is 1 over 3. How come we don't use the gradient equals to -3? Because it is not parallel, it is perpendicular. Okay, so read the question. Okay, so we have this one and we have this one. Bakau tim no? Okay, y minus 3 equals to 1 over 3 x minus 1. Okay, so we substitute y minus 3 equals to 1 over 3x minus 1 over 3. Bring the 3 across, y equals to 1 over 3x minus 1 over 3 plus 3. Okay, and when you calculate this, you will get this answer. Y equals to 1 over 3x plus 8 over 3. Okay, so the step is still the same lah. The only problem now is the word bisector only. Okay, but when you see the word bisector, think of midpoint. Okay, always think of midpoint. Okay, so your third question for the day is this one. question number 60, which is the same question as 59 actually. Seriously, it is the same question as 59. Okay. All right. So that's it for today. Okay, that's it for today. I just want to show you how to calculate the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Okay. And then, of course, if it is perpendicular, and then the third one is if it is parallel. Okay, so only 3 questions. I thought I had 4, but only 3 questions lah. So the first question is question 52. The second question is question 58. Okay, this is a long question, 4 marks. Okay, because there's a lot of steps. And the third question is question number 60. Okay, so please complete these questions today in your and send it in your Telegram channel.